Hey, so this is a 2011 iMac, and it is running macOS 15.0 Sequoia. Now that's not normal for a machine of this age because the 2011 iMac was cut off support at 2017's macOS High Sierra. I used OpenCore Legacy Patcher to get it here, and it was quite the process, as you will see. For context, I started recording this video 2 months ago to the day on September 19th, 2024, and it is November 19th, 2024. What happened in those 2 months? A lot of procrastination and a lot of busy, to be honest. So, I apologize for the delay. Wait, it's not the 19th anymore? It's the 20th. Maybe it wasn't to the day. When did it become the 20th? Anyway, about 2 months ago, I began filming, and I put this off for a little while. So I make a couple claims, like the first 2011 iMac on Sequoia in the world a couple times, and unfortunately, those claims probably are not true anymore. But it's still kind of neat, and I would like to share how the process of getting it to this point, and it wasn't fun. So stick around, and you'll see the installation process as well as my review. All right, let's begin. This is my mid-2011 iMac, which I believe to be a base model. It has 4 gigs of RAM, a 500 gigabyte hard drive, this Core i5, and AMD Radeon graphics. For whatever reason, in the About This Mac window, it doesn't show the year anymore. I don't know why. Maybe the way that I had to format the drive? I really don't know. And the way I currently have it set up is I have a partition with macOS 10.9 Mavericks, and the one that I'm booted into right now, 10.11 El Capitan. I really like the design of Mavericks, and I like using iTunes 11 for my iPods, so that's why I have that. And I wanted at least like a partition with, you know, this design of macOS, this era of pretty much 10.10 to 10.15 with being Catalina. I wanted to have Yosemite on here, which is what I did originally. However, it wouldn't let me sign into iCloud, and it was like I wanted this one to be the iCloud one, the Mavericks one to be the local, everything local one. But it's all right. El Capitan works fine. I don't really want to put High Sierra on here. So what I'm gonna do is put macOS Sequoia on here since it just came out Monday. And yeah, I'd like to put it on a third partition. Yeah, I like I like having partitions for everything. I don't know, I like kind of having everything there. So shoot, oh, it worked actually. Okay, so I've got Chrome open, which is normally something I don't do. But apparently the download link may potentially not work. May not work on Safari. So it says that they're proud to announce Sequoia support for version 2.0 supported on this iMac, where would that be? So this is a 2011, so right in there. And yeah, I know there's a couple limitations to this. What was it? Something with the Photos app. So that is, I'm like right on the cusp. But I'm not too worried about it. Pretty much just doing this for fun, you know, just to see how it would work. This isn't like a very fast computer, nor is it very slow. One day I'd like to upgrade the RAM, but I don't know how possible that is right now, because I just don't have any RAM. So I'm going to download the OpenCore Patcher app onto the hard drive. It'll take a little bit, but really the gist of what I'm going to do here is install it on a third partition. I know that it's possible to have it on a second partition at least, and there isn't a difference, realistically, between a first and a second a second and a third partition. But, you know, I'm just doing it, and you know what? Who knows? Maybe in the end of this, I'll have the world's first 2011 iMac with the public version of macOS Sequoia. And it could be neat, probably not going to happen, realistically. But, who knows? It could be nice. If you're wondering what's up with, in the corner of the screen, this was at my grandparents' house, this iMac, and then it was in storage for a couple years. I don't know what really happened, but it looks like some kind of water damage in the screen in this corner. If you put an app up to there, you can really see it pretty well. I don't know why. I don't know. But I'm not worried about it. It works fine. So, yeah. Let's open up OpenCore Legacy Patcher. I've done this once before and it didn't work. Could have been my fault, could have been user error, could have not been my fault, but I don't know. But it wasn't this computer I did it on, so it's okay. Once again, not worried about it at all. Can we open the app? So yeah, this is El Capitan. I might eventually put Sierra instead, just specifically for Siri, but it's not like super necessary. I feel like anything from Yosemite to High Sierra is pretty interchangeable on this computer. Can we please open the app? Is it open? Am I like missing something here? Maybe I put my password in wrong. Let me try that again. For some reason, by the way, on modern, well, I don't know how modern, but like on certain versions of macOS, you have to have a password. I don't think you need one. I have a Lion installation on a MacBook, which is the subject of a previous video. But yeah, I don't know if that, I don't think that needs a password. But this did. So yeah. Okay, here we go. So it's an iMac 12,1. And yeah, there we have it. Just keep in mind, this video should not be taken as a direct tutorial. Certain things may or may not end up being accurate, but realistically, it won't. And I mean, I don't want to be held liable if you mess your stuff up. Remember, once again, this is version 2.01, and it's the current version now, but when you're watching this video, it might not be. So yeah, keep in mind that this video is probably outdated by the time you're watching it, and I'm looking at tutorials as well. I'm not like 100% proficient in this, so I'm learning just as you are. So I will be right back once again momentarily so that I can make sure I'm doing this right so far. Alright, now I'm ready to continue. So I'm using a flash drive identical to this one. My camera won't focus, it's just a really little SanDisk one. It's got 64 gigs of storage. I have two, so that's one of them's on the computer right now as install OS X Yosemite. But I'm gonna format it real quick. So gotta go to disk utility. Make sure it's showing everything. Here the drive is. Hit erase, extended journaled, GUID partition map. Doesn't matter what you name it because OpenCore is going to rename it anyway. Alright. There we go. So now we're gonna create macOS installer. I'm gonna download finding available software, and hypothetically Sequoia should show up right here. 9.16, so that's the current version. So here we go. Download. And this is gonna be a little bit. I'm gonna speed this up for you, the viewer, and I will continue as soon as this is done. Alright, so it's been a while at this point, and I'm going to continue. So yeah, I'd like to create my installer. Oh. Well dang. See if I could do that trick where I could zoom. No, I can't. Oh, well dang. Dang it. Okay, so. Well, what would I hit if I want to go back? I would go here. It's looking like I might have to upgrade El Capitan to High Sierra, which isn't like a big deal. It would just take like a while. Yeah, there we go. Can we detect my mouse, please? Well, this isn't my mouse, but... So why is my mouse not working? Where is the menu bar? Okay, so this is literally a wired mouse. So Huh. Let's figure this out. Well, the mouse works now, but the entire computer moved, so I'm trying to figure out how to align it again. Looks fine, I guess. I think that's the way it was. Or not. I really don't know, but it's fine. There's gonna be a lot more of getting up and sitting back down anyway. Let's try this again. Create macOS installer, use existing. I probably shouldn't have done what I did a minute ago. Alright, so it looks like we're gonna have to install macOS High Sierra. I will return after doing just that. Alright, well, it has been at least an hour, and as you can tell, it's on High Sierra now. It brought the number back, cool. Maybe it didn't show that in older versions? It definitely did. But we're on High Sierra again. I have to rename this partition. And, I guess now we can, finish the install of macOS Sequoia, the entire point of the video. So, oh, and by the way, my phone died, I think like 15 minutes ago of my time, like right as the install was finishing, the phone died. So I've been sitting here at the desktop for a little bit now. Whoa, I'm a little doubtful of how well this is going to work, judging by the fact that macOS High Sierra already feels a bit slower. But it's okay. Still doing this anyway. For science. There we go. Alright. This isn't a very slow drive, so I don't anticipate it taking a while. But you never know. Something always goes wrong when I try to do a video like this. So we'll see. Once again, I will speed up the video and return when it's done. Alright, so yeah, that didn't work. Been a bit. It didn't do anything. Shoot, I should probably just reformat the USB drive no, I don't care. Use existing, because I already downloaded it, and it's going to be the Sequoia one. Please just work. There we go. Disk 1, Ultra Fit. Yeah. Dang it, is it doing the exact same thing? Wow. Guess who just wasted like 10 minutes? Oh boy. Alright, so it's been a while since the last part of the video, last part that I filmed. So we're at the point where I can continue, like, finalize making the USB and then actually put macOS Sequoia on the computer. The issue has been, for the last little while, my phone ran out of storage. That's why the video ended so abruptly. So I had to export it to Final Cut on my MacBook, so that I could have some extra storage on my phone to, you know, continue making the video. And at the point that it's like done now, it's 10:50, and it was like really scary for me too, because I didn't have my computer plugged in, and I couldn't really move everything, or else something would disconnect and it would mess the whole process up. But yeah, I had to, my laptop almost died. It's just been, you know, a lot in the last couple hours. So at the point that I pick this back up, I will, as far as I know, if the tutorial, like, I need to remember the tutorial I was looking at, I hit yes, and then there we go, make the drive, do the whole thing. But I'm gonna put it on hold, and because I don't have enough time really right now. Like, I need to sleep, and if I wait for too long, or if I stay up for too long, it won't be good. So yeah, coming up on whenever, probably Sunday, and it's Thursday now, so that says a lot. I'll be able to finish this. But for now, gotta put it in sleep mode, and I have to make sure the mouse won't move too much or else it'll turn off. Alright, so it's the next day, and we're at the same spot, except it says Friday instead of Thursday. So I'm gonna hit yes. Why would it be putting OpenCore v1.01? It is OpenCore 2. Install the disk. Gonna put it on the external USB that I'm using, for this. It is a 64 USB, so it should be enough. Can we work, please? Yep, disc 1 ultra fit. I guess that's the only volume. I don't know. Alright. Alright. I'm hoping this works. I'm really hoping. Now, I am not really confident in speed, but if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I'm not too worried. Like, this isn't my main computer, not even close. I edit all my stuff on a 2021 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro chip and all that stuff, so I'm not worried about it, right? I just think it'll be really, really interesting. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna restart. And then hold Option. And it should, in theory, give boot options and stuff. But we're gonna see. I might have to try to reboot again. Alright, let's hold Option, please. Holding Option. I have a USB keyboard plugged in. Damn, I probably should have kept holding it instead of let go. So I'm just gonna hold Option like right away. I'm holding it, I'm not letting go. Like, the lights are still on the keyboard. We're gonna see what happens. I don't have an Apple official wired keyboard. However, if I need to, I have a Apple Magic keyboard, but the wireless one with Touch ID, so I don't think... Okay, there we go. Here we go. I need to keep holding Option and hit EFI boot. And this one. So this is where I want to be. I don't know if I have to keep holding Option. So yeah, it's definitely doing macOS Sequoia. You can tell. All right, hold on. Let me focus the camera. Please work. Oh, it's also not like centered. And it's fine. It's not. Better. Anyway, you can tell because right there, the progress bar is at the bottom. And as you saw, when I booted into High Sierra a minute ago, it was like here under the Apple logo. So yeah, I don't really know what it's currently doing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We go to Disk Utility, View, All Devices, Internal, Partitioning. Let's add another partition. So, how can I resize? So I can't resize the. It says El Capitan. Oh, let me make sure my camera's focused so you could like see and stuff. It says El Capitan because I still have yet to rename it. Actually, no. Let's do that really quickly. Let's rename. No, that's the Mavericks one. El Capitan. I don't know why it's macOS Extended Journal because that's High Sierra. Let's rename this one. For consistency's sake. Alright, once again, we're going to go here. Let's see, how much does Mavericks take up? Okay, so only like 30 gigs are really used on Mavericks, which is not a surprise at all. I'm trying to fix this phone camera. That's going to be a lot better, okay. This is what happens when you film on an iPhone, but it's alright. There we go. Partition. What if I hit on here, because I want more for Mavericks. Okay, there we go. High Sierra shouldn't need a lot, but I'll give... That's the minimum I can do. Let's give this one 100. Let's name it... what... I just forgot the name of the one I'm putting on there. How do you spell Sequoia? I think that's right. But it should be APFS, as far as I know. I didn't want to mess with the Mavericks partition size. As far as I know, Mavericks is just goofy as heck. So yeah. Alright, so now we do this. I don't know if you can hear my mouse clicks. Okay. Dude, this is like exciting. This is getting hype. Let me raise the brightness a little bit. I should be using Final Cut Camera, but I'm a little bit nervous that just uses a lot more storage on my phone, which is already looking like pretty darn limited. I'm trying to get this like straight. That's gonna be the closest I can get. All right. Now it's going to Sequoia. Boy, this is gonna take a little bit. So once again, as before, I'm gonna speed this up a lot so that you don't have to sit through what I am. Something that I don't really like doing is just a cut to the end of the installer, right? Because then if something happens to someone, then they could be left in the dark. Like if they might not know if I had that and just didn't cover it. So I just like speeding it up so that you can see that it's doing it, but it doesn't take as much time. So yeah. Also, my cat cameo in the last one, in the one with the white screen. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was the High Sierra installation chunk. That was so funny. For those of you that don't know, that's my cat. His name is Maui. He is... Oh my god, he's like 3 years old now. Wow. Man. Yeah, but he's really, really silly. He'll probably be in more of my videos over time. But yeah, that is my cat, and I'm gonna stop yapping. So I'll pick this back up once this is at the next chunk of the install. Hello? Hey there. Okay. Well, the tutorial that I was watching is from a little while ago, and the newest release that the guy's using is Ventura, and OpenCore wasn't even in 1.0. So, I don't know if whatever's happening is supposed to be happening. In the video, he said, your computer might get stuck on a white screen. So you should, like, reboot and hold the thing and hold the option and then hit the installer. And I'm like, well, I didn't do that. Let me see. I'm like gonna read off of the list that it says in the video description, which I will link below in case anyone's curious. Shout out, I believe, Mr. Macintosh on YouTube. So it says, I'm trying to read. Auto reboot didn't work. Power down and hold on option key, then EFI boot plus macOS installer. Well, I don't think it like crashed. I don't think it failed. I think it did it. Excuse me, so that's good. Second reboot, hold down option, select EFI boot, then macOS installer. Third and fourth reboot both say hold down option, select EFI boot, then the drive partition you picked. Fifth and final reboot, hold down option, and select EFI boot. So they're all like the same. But it didn't fail the first one. Naturally, I am a little bit nervous just because, like, this is uncharted territory. Like, I'm the kind of person that likes to know what I'm getting into. So I really appreciate it when I know what I'm doing. And the fact that I'm not 100% sure is a bit worrisome. But I'm gonna let this screen do whatever it wants to do, and then I will, once again, pick up the video once this is done. All right. We're rebooting. Not sure what it's doing. I didn't even hit anything. Didn't even have time to think about it. But it's okay. Not too fussed. This looks like it's gonna be a little bit quicker. Progress bar is already pretty close to done. I've been filming at least for an hour at this point, with the majority of it just being installers, so I'm hoping for not too much more, because it's kind of late. I didn't anticipate that it would take this long. Don't know what I anticipated, but yeah. Once again, I'll return when something happens. On another reboot now. Probably gonna, yeah. Oh, okay, so now it's just a hard drive. We'll see what happens now. One more time. I'll return when it's actually doing something. Alright, yet another reboot into the Sequoia drive partition. Well, I literally said that, like a couple minutes ago that I was going to be back after I did something, and here we are. I think this is the final reboot. I hope. I think. I don't know if it did on the last reboot, but it changed from install macOS Sequoia to just Sequoia, which is the name of the partition. I don't know if it's like a weird me thing, but I always name the partition after the operating system installed on it, just so that I know what's what. To me, it makes sense, but I don't know if it makes sense for everyone. I would hope it does, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna speed this up. It's definitely gonna take a minute or two to boot up because spinning hard drive, I believe it's going just straight into Sequoia now, which would be awesome because it's getting later. Been filming for an hour and a half, and I'm starting to feel sleepy. Starting to get tired. So yeah, I'll be back. Guys? Oh, wow, that really scared me. Oh man, the fact that I was able to move the cursor made me think that it completely freaked out. Because, little fact here, any Mac before 2012 doesn't have a metal GPU. And that's like one of the things that makes modern Macs pretty good. So not having a metal GPU running an operating system that heavily uses the metal, I think API, whatever they call it, it's not apparently not a great experience. I'm on a gray screen, as you can see, with just my cursor. I hope this is macOS setup, but to be honest, I don't even know. I have no idea. Oh my god, there it is. Is it fully loaded? Oh my god. Well guys, this is macOS Sequoia. Let me raise the brightness a bit because the video is not looking too great right now. All right, United States. Oof. Hey. It's not looking too great for our performance. But who knows, maybe it'll surprise me. It's really dim because it's doing auto brightness. And I personally don't want it to do auto brightness. I always turn that off on this iMac because it never changes. I am gonna put my Wi-Fi password in. Should be blurring all this out or censoring this all, but I will put my Wi-Fi password in and return once that is done. Alright, I'm on the Wi-Fi. For whatever reason, it gave an error the first time, and I changed nothing, and then hit the continue button, and it worked. I will do this later. I will do it, but not right now. Honestly, going through the rest of this macOS setup hasn't been too slow. So let's just put my name in here. I take back what I said about it being slow. Or being fast. I take it back. And the beach ball doesn't spin, I guess. Maybe it's so slow that the beach ball is frozen in time. Obviously there's no emoji. Let's go with the camera. No, we won't actually shoot. emoji. It's not having a fun time trying to load all this, but oh my god. Okay. I don't know if you saw that. I tried to turn the camera on. Let's be this blue car. Why not? No password. We don't need password. Oh. Maybe we do. Go ahead and put in my password. My super secret password. No hint. Just don't want to. I will sign into iCloud once I conclude the video, or at least the setup portion of the video. But I mean, it seems like it's going pretty well. Not gonna lie. I don't know how long it'll take. It is also not 9:19 p.m. That isn't correct. Unfortunately, sorry about the shaky camera, I was picking up my iPad. It is in fact 12:20. Would have liked it to be a little bit earlier, but things happen, and it's the weekend, so it's fine. Why is it taking so long? Well, it's probably making, file system and whatnot, so can't imagine it'll take that long. I don't know why it picked the golf ball or how to get the rest of the old pictures. Maybe they were there and I'm just dumb and forgot. Like maybe it was in the photos tab. Who knows? I usually put a picture for my things, but I don't really want my whole room being in the picture. Also, my lighting is terrible right now. I'll do it later. No, it imports when I sign in with my Apple ID, so it's not an issue. I don't know why it is taking so long. As I say that, we get the not spinning beach ball for some reason. Alright, it took like 5 minutes, maybe even more. But it finally created my user. Don't know what took so long, but we're here. I don't really think I want to do this. Once again, there's the beach ball that doesn't spin. Oh, I've never seen that before. Really weird. Still on the analytics screen, I guess. Screen time. Hex no. Set up later. Enable Ask Siri. Sure. I know it will barely work and be incredibly slow, so I'm probably gonna disable it once I get in, but I'm just really curious. Not now. I wonder if it's possible to fudge this into thinking it can run Apple Intelligence, but that would probably lead to a house fire, which I'm not too keen on. Not too keen on doing that. Shouldn't be a very strenuous screen here. I think this is like just about the end though. It might have another couple screens, but as far as I know, Siri and whatnot is the end of the process. Once again, it's been a while. I mean, I did just recently set up El Capitan on this Mac, but that I do not count as modern macOS at this point, considering the fact that it is nearly 10 years old at this point. Which is, it's kind of crazy that when they transitioned to that flat design in macOS, that was 10 years ago. And it changed so much since then. Especially, you know, into Big Sur, they pretty much completely redesigned it. And most people, including myself, were really jazzed about it and kind of hoped that iOS would get the same visual makeover. Because those app icons, man. On macOS, the app icons. They look so nice. And it would be great if those were on iOS. But for whatever reason, they are still not. And still waiting on that, if it'll ever happen. I doubt it to a degree, but you know what? A man can dream. I picked auto. Could be more resource intensive. I really hope it isn't. That would be really silly. But I have auto light dark on all my devices. And I plan on keeping it that way. Yeah, I don't know why the clock isn't right, because I believe I gave it my location and I gave it my Wi-Fi, so there's no reason I shouldn't know where I am or what time zone it is. Because for context here, it's defaulting to Pacific time, which is, if you're not in the US, that would be like California area, Apple Park. Obviously, that's kind of why they defaulted to that. But I'm on Eastern time, which is, once again, for non-Americans, that's like New York, right? So that is 3 hours ahead. So yeah, right now it would be 12:31 a.m. on September 21st rather than 9:32 p.m. on September 20th. Which is funny because I actually kind of started recording around that time. So we've got the window disappeared. I imagine I'm going to be in the desktop soon enough, which I'm really excited to see what happens, because it looks like I'm having more luck with this than I did with Sonoma on that 2010 MacBook Pro. I've heard such great things about OpenCore Legacy Patcher, and that experience with the 2010 MacBook Pro admittedly left a bad taste in my mouth, but I think that was user error. It was really simple here, to be honest with you. I did, really follow that tutorial. Whoa, hold on. I've never seen that before. Welcome to Mac. That's new, because that was not there before, for sure. Actually, I did set up a Mac recently, because I got an M3 iMac and set that up on Sonoma. That wasn't there. All right, without further ado, continue. Oh, dang. Is it another setup screen? It looks like the desktop, which is really chugging along here. 2 cursors, okay. I guess that one just won't. Okay. It's trying its best to load the desktop, but is heavily struggling because of the fancy animated wallpapers, which is not surprising. I think I'm gonna have to turn that off here, which, yeah, it stinks, right? Like, it's one of the cooler features of Sonoma, but for, quickness and performance sake, I don't think that's a great thing. All right, so we're getting menu bar traces. Slowly but surely, we've got, I can't tell if the menu bar is there. It kind of looks like it's a slightly different color up there. There we go. Keyboard setup assistant pops up before the dock. Love to see it. Your Corsair device cannot be identified. Well, it just was identified as a Corsair device. It asks me this literally every time I boot this computer up on any of the other operating systems on it. So I don't know if it's an issue with this keyboard or what. I'm gonna wait for some more stuff to load. Give it a minute or two. But this is the desktop, albeit gray. But it is in fact the desktop. So we're logging in. It doesn't appear to be animating the wallpaper, which good. But it appears to be functioning. There's that. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little loading symbol down here that just froze up. Whoa! Hey! Oh my god, it's a desktop! Oh my god, there's apps down there! Now, I personally am really curious if this is going to have iPhone mirroring. Like, I don't know if there's a minimum requirement for that, but boy, if this could mirror my iPhone, that would be hilarious. Also, the fact that the iPhone is like exponentially more powerful than this even. I'm doing keyboard setup real quick. I mean, it's just a standard keyboard. It's nothing fancy here. For some shots at the end of this video, for the ending, I'm going to put my modern Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse here because they will connect. Man, it's not liking any oh wait, oh, it's actually not too slow. And I take it back immediately. Oh my goodness, it's there. Of course that's there. But oh my god. That's insane. So obviously I'm gonna have a kick out of that once I am not recording on the iPhone, that it would mirror too. But man, that's crazy. Let's pull up About This Mac. I clicked the Apple logo. I hope you heard that. That is not a beach ball. I don't know what that is. Also, the date and time and Wi-Fi are gone. Okay, here we go. Hey, it's gone. Dang it. Come back. Let's see if anything will open. Well, there's system settings, and there's two things I'd like to hit on the head right away. I'd like to fix the wallpaper situation and fix the mouse because it currently is in Apple's natural scrolling setting. Setting. I'm so confused. It's currently in natural scrolling, which I don't want because it's just a normal mouse with a scroll wheel. Oh, did About This Mac ever pop up? Clearly not. Wait, hold on. I need to see it. I can't see it currently. Displays. Was that one though? Let's try the mouse. Oh my gosh, there's a CDs and DVDs menu. That's so weird because I don't think any currently supported Mac has a DVD drive. Okay, so we got that to load. I mean, mouse feels fine as it is, so I'm not gonna tinker with any of that. Displays, let's work this time, please. Why does it say mouse at the top? We'll close out of settings for now because I feel like that's gonna be important. See how easy I get sidetracked? I knew that was gonna pop up eventually. Trust me, I knew. Just kidding, but yeah, can we show on screen, please? I hit enter. I believe this is where it would show. Oh, okay, no, this is after this. It will then show the potential discs I can install on And this time I'm gonna hit it to the official internal disk, but I'm gonna double check my tutorial. Oh, yeah. I will cut back to when it's actually doing something normally now, because I don't really want to run out of storage on my phone. And a 2-hour 1080p 60 FPS recording is probably not the greatest for my storage, so I'll return. All right, it's been a few minutes, but I'm back. Control center worked and everything. I've raised the brightness. I didn't want to show it because then it'll show my Wi-Fi name. That's some extra work for me editing in a couple days, but it's a little bit later now. I'm gonna just check on OpenCore, because apparently there's like post-install root patches or something like that that are necessary, or if not necessary, incredibly helpful. If you hear these like creaking sounds, that's the mouse. It's like very creaky when you grip the sides. Gotta be very much cheap quality. I mean, it's fine otherwise, like the buttons feel and sound okay, but man, I mean, it was $40, and with this creaking, it really feels like a $20 thing. Alright, I'm just like, eyeballing it, right? Like looking at this right now. And since it's a 1080p screen, it looks comparable to, if not even better than, my 32-inch monitor with my MacBook Pro hooked up to it, right? So it's got the resolution, like it's not super bad, super terrible. It's, pretty cromulent. No complaints. By the way, I really want to try to see if I could get About This Mac to show up before I do this. I just want to see the About This Mac page, like, please. I guess I don't get the About This Mac page. Like, something else took the foreground, but not that. So let's do post-install root patch. It may or may not be necessary, but we'll see. Oh my god, there it is! Hi there, About This Mac. Oh my god, transparency works like pretty well too. That's impressive. Here are my full specs. Quad-core i5, that I don't think is base model. This AMD Radeon graphics, I also don't think is base model, but 4 gigs of RAM. Doesn't say it, but 500 gigs storage, and hilariously, Sequoia 15.0. Man, that is so funny to me. I don't know, something about a machine this old still, like, able to work, it's crazy. I've already installed, well, I'll quit out of it then, I guess. I don't really care. See if there are any settings that might need to be changed. I doubt it, though. Oh, wow. Target model, host model. Fire rate, no. Yes. That is so slow. I'm gonna give it 15. Caught up to me finally, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not too model spoofing, yeah, I'm not too too worried about any of this stuff. Beach ball cursor workaround? Is that it? Is that really it? I don't know how to test it. but I don't really think I need it on. I don't know what any of this is. What is beta blur? Did I not just install that? I'm really nervous that when I go to eject the drive, it'll cook it and cook the whole computer. So for fear of that, I'm probably gonna leave it in for the time being. Maybe one day I'll take it out. So here's Finder, locations, yeah, there are my other drives and whatnot. So I want to go to applications and check that. They're there. Hold on. I want to, check that OpenCore is here. It's a shortcut, but I think that's okay. I'm also just gonna, for simplicity's sake, so that it's not frustrating in the future, go to home, and how do I add to sidebar? There we go. Home folder goes on top. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, I don't know. Man, it's not even that bad. Like, I'm saying this completely games one game. Man, that is funny. No, but I'm like saying this full on seriously. It's not even that bad. You know, let's try the Photos app. The one that it said didn't work. Let's just get it over with and see if it works. Okay, maybe it does work. We'll see if it crashes out or not. I guess I'll allow photos notifications. I really don't care. Give me the button, please. Options, yes. Come on, I'm waiting. Yeah, come on, mate. Come on, buddy. I don't care. So it looks like it works enough. There's literally nothing that it can access at the moment because it just doesn't have anything on it. So yeah. Does Command Q will work. So let's change the wallpaper really quickly so that it'll be the normal Sequoia one. I'm not sure if it's more or less resource intensive, but I do want to turn off the whole screensaver thing. Here we go, wallpaper. Do not do that, please. Sequoia automatic. Well, I really despise the dark mode version, but we'll see how it fares. So that's it for the installation part of the video. Well, hello. It has been quite a bit. I've recorded the entire installation process 2 months ago. In fact, I actually started 2 months ago to the day. And a bit has changed. Placement of the computer itself has moved. And there has been a new update to macOS Sequoia 15.1. And I haven't yet to update this computer to it. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't booted into Sequoia in quite a while. And I'm going to show you why. So, I would like to do a cold boot of Sequoia. Just straight up, completely fresh, no sleep mode, no nothing. And just to really show how slow it is, I'm going to pull up a stopwatch. In this case, an iPad Air 1, which you could see down there. Can I get it higher up? I don't really want it to look super goofy. That'll work. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am first going to unplug the iMac just to emphasize the fact that this is truly how slow it is. I'm gonna put the stopwatch down so that I don't knock over my iPad. I'll just move the entire computer, unfortunately, and I probably won't be able to reframe it because it was hard the first time. But you probably heard that. So now I'm gonna plug it back in. It takes a second. Jesus. Those plugs are very stiff. I'll do my best to put it back the way it was on my desk. Well, it is a nightstand, but it works as a desk. That's good enough. So, without further ado, I'm gonna put up. That's. And we're gonna start the stopwatch because I accidentally hit the power button. I'm going to do a time lapse here. Not a time lapse. I'm just gonna speed it up. I'm not even gonna click the icon for that, just because I want to show truly how slow this computer is. Let me like actually focus this so that it doesn't look terrible for you. Should be a bit better. And this is just gonna show how long it truly takes from when you hit the power button to when you're at the desktop able to do something. And I would like to mention, I'm going to let it run for a bit after I get to the desktop. And that's because it takes some time to even get to a point where you can actually use it, and it might have some graphical bugs. So I'm going to wait until the actual point when it is usable. Not when it shows the icons in the background, but when it's actually usable. So I'm going to speed it up now, and we're going to see how long this takes. And I'm gonna call it here that that it's booted enough to be used. So it always gives this iCloud pop-up, which I'm gonna blur out for obvious reasons. I'm gonna dismiss it. It gives like 5 of them for some reason, and it takes a little bit to dismiss. However, you might have noticed that it seemed like we were waiting a good while at the desktop already. So you might be thinking, why did we do that? And that's because none of the menu bar items off to the right accumulated other than Siri until basically when I ended it. So while this time is not 100% accurate nor official, we can safely say that this computer, from power button to fully usable state, takes about 8 minutes to boot up. And the reason for this is very obvious. This Mac has never had a hardware upgrade at all. So it is on the stock Intel Core i5, as well as the stock some form of AMD Radeon, which I'm trying to check, but the Apple menu itself won't even load. I clicked it a second ago. And a spinning hard drive. And that's going to be the main issue with something like this. The fact that it isn't an SSD. It also has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which doesn't help things. I'm going to take that iPad away now. It doesn't need to be up anymore. I didn't realize I had an auto turn off thing set for that iPad. I completely forgot that I'd ever put that there. Thought I had it on to stay on forever. But anyway, while we wait for the Apple menu to show up, which shouldn't really be that hard to pull up, I'll just, mention why it took so long, which, yeah, having a mechanical drive is a massive bottleneck. And it was okay when this came out, however long ago in 2011. In 2024, that's not okay. And I'm not complaining about it. Like, it's not a 2024 computer, and we all know that. But it doesn't really work well with 2024 software. I believe around High Sierra, whenever they changed to APFS, that's when SSDs became more important than they were. And that is where this Mac lost support on High Sierra. And frankly, I don't think it should have gotten High Sierra. It took a massive performance tank with that update. So I don't know why I thought going to Sequoia would be decent, because it isn't. Now, there are easy upgrades that I can do to this machine. I can upgrade the RAM if I wanted to. I can upgrade, I believe the GPU can be upgraded. The CPU, I'm not so sure. And I know that I can put an SSD in this if I wanted to. Most of those I would love to do, but considering the age of this computer and the fact that I have better, more current computers, I don't really want to put any money into this. So it's kind of interesting seeing how I believe this was base model computer from 2011 stacks up now. It has a 500 gigabyte hard drive, so that might have been an upgrade. I'm really not sure. I would like to note that the previous owner of this computer, previous owners were my grandparents, and they barely had any files on this thing at all and never updated it from Lion, which was the launch software. So not much would have ever been done, and yeah. So here is the specs. 2.5 gigahertz quad-core i5. I'm gonna assume whatever was new in mid-2011 when this thing came out. The AMD Radeon HD 6750M. I'm not sure. Basically, I don't know much about this card at all. I don't know a lot about any older cards, let alone AMD. I barely know anything about AMD graphics cards. However, from what I do know, the NVIDIA cards that Apple was putting in their 2011 Macs were very prone to failure. I'm not sure if that would have applied to an iMac, but I know it applied to MacBooks, and I've seen it firsthand. Yeah, I've seen a 2011 MacBook Pro with a graphics card failure. So I'm pretty sure that was just the NVIDIA chips, so this one's fine. It's got, like I said, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, and Sequoia 15.0. I mean, this startup disk isn't really relevant. I have this partitioned 3 ways with Mavericks, High Sierra, and Sequoia. I believe I went over this in the previous video, or previous section of the video. Man, it feels like it was forever ago, because it was admittedly a long time ago. I'm trying to click on more info so I could get some info about how storage is looking, but it's taking a while. And yeah, macOS is not designed for spinning hard drives in any way at all anymore, because I believe every Mac that supports macOS at this point, or the newest version, has an SSD, or at least a Fusion drive, which the way that worked is that it would put things that need to load faster, such as the operating system, onto the SSD portion of it, and anything that wasn't a key part of it, like apps and files and stuff like that, would go on a spinning hard drive. And that was actually a pretty neat system to keep costs down, because SSDs were expensive for a long time, but now they're not, and they're standard. So yeah, that is why this thing takes so long. And another major thing is that after High Sierra, when macOS Mojave came out in 2018, that's when they added the metal graphics architecture. I think that's what it would be called. I don't know if it's like architecture API. I'm not too knowledgeable with the more super in-depth things with the operating system. I should be, but I'm not. But anyway, you would have needed, for full graphics support at that point, you needed a metal capable GPU. And those began being added in 2012 Macs. So that's why anything before 2012 is cut off at High Sierra, and anything 2012 and after is cut off. I mean, it depends on the model, of course, but I know that 2012 MacBooks can go up to Catalina. So that is another potential reason why everything takes so long to load. And 4 gigabytes of RAM is paltry. It was, in 2011, and still is. Well, you know what? No, in 2011, it was probably decent. It was probably okay. But this would be... Why did it bring me to this page? It would be amazing to have 8 gigabytes of RAM. And I could. I have another laptop that I would like to use for parts, but I have yet to grab it. So I don't have that. Sequoia itself and some of the extra applications, like the default Apple apps that I've added to this, take up it says 35 gigabytes out of the 150 that I've allotted on this hard drive for Sequoia. I'd like to pull up the Launchpad to show what I have installed, but I just clicked it and it will probably take, it's actually fairly fast. But I've installed basically everything that would come pre-installed on a Mac today, with one obvious addition. So we've got the whole Apple suite that is just straight up pre-installed, as well as Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, which are installed on new Macs. So the way it works is it's linked to your Apple account. If you reinstall macOS, they're not there. But obviously they're linked to my account and I was able to download them just fine. As well as iMovie and GarageBand. Those are, I believe, pre-installed on Macs, and it just felt right, and I would like to test performance there. I've also got, I don't know when they started doing this games folder with just chess. I don't remember that being there. Nor do I remember tips being there. It might have been, but I don't remember. And OpenCore, which was necessary to even install macOS Sequoia on here at all. So nothing super extra. And that takes up, well, considering that it says macOS takes up 20 gigs, I'm pretty good at math, so I'm going to say that 35 minus 20 equals 15. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's going to be my calculation, and that's what the apps take up. Oh my god, it says it right there. I'm so stupid. It says it literally right above my pointer. Okay. But you get my point. I'm going to try to fix the brightness of this video real quick. And I can't get anything else to load. But yeah, the spinning disk of this computer does not fare well whatsoever. On Mavericks, it only takes a couple, like less than 5 minutes to boot up. So, and that's not even that great anyway. So yeah, and let's see what it looks like if we try to open a couple apps, a couple things from the dock. Now the first thing that I like to get out of the way is iPhone mirroring. It was one of the headlining new features of macOS Sequoia. And yeah, I'd like to give it a try on this machine. Now, I've had some time to toy around with this, see if I could get it working better. Since I installed it 2 months ago. So this isn't my first time opening this, but it doesn't work. You can't get past this screen. I don't think it helps that my phone is currently recording this video, but this computer is not capable of opening an iPhone mirroring stream. I don't think that is too surprising, but it is incapable of such things, unsurprisingly. However, it's still kind of funny seeing that here. Now, in terms of other apps that are here, you've got Music, which is one of my favorite apps, and what I primarily use this for on the Mavericks partition. I use the iTunes, and I sync it to my iPods, because I don't want to have another user account on my MacBook. An unknown error occurred. Well, that's fun. If someone wants to look this up, they can, but I'm not gonna. And I guess it won't open? That is weird. I was not expecting that. But I know that Safari will open. Hopefully it won't give a random unknown error, but we'll see. Now, something peculiar about this machine is that it's really picky with wallpapers. I'm not sure why this is, but it tends to fall back to this default Sequoia one. And I wanted to put on um I don't know how to really describe it, the abstract Sequoia one, the one that was like a computer generated 3D model. However, it wouldn't apply it for some reason. It would apply a couple other wallpapers, but when that would happen, it would take even longer to boot up, and it would show a yellow screen for like 15 minutes until actually showing the wallpaper. But recently it stopped doing that entirely and only does this image, which is surprising since it's one of the animated wallpapers, which I didn't think that it would do at all. So here is Safari in all of its glory. Obviously, it has not encountered any trackers in the last 30 days because, as far as I know, it has not encountered any websites. So let's go to one of my favorite sites personally, basicappleguy.com. Massive shout out to him. He puts out some amazing content, some amazing blogs, and especially some amazing wallpapers. And let's see how long that site takes to load. Compared to other sites, it's fairly simple, so there's no reason for it to take very long at all. It would not be my Wi-Fi speed, because my Wi-Fi is pretty decent. Upload speeds aren't the best, but download speeds are pretty good. And I don't think there needs to be much upload done, so it shouldn't take too long on a normal computer. But this isn't normal. This is a weird computer. Now, there are some other apps that I'd like to show, but probably shouldn't because I'd have to blur most of them out, considering that they're like personal, show personal info, such as messages, mail, photos, calendar, reminders, stuff like that. I don't really want to have to blur everything out, so I'm gonna pass on showing those. I don't know why the whole brightness of the video just got a little funky, but here's the main page of the site. This is the mouse I'm using. I don't know if you can see it because it's not focusing very well, but it's the Apple Mighty Mouse that came out in 2009. No, not 2009. I believe 06 or 07. And it scrolls really weird on this. So let's see how long it'll take to open his newest article that came out actually today. And that's not terrible. I can't really scroll very well because the scroll wheel is strangely really sensitive. It is not like that on Mavericks. But yeah, I'm able to navigate the site just fine. So I think the main thing with this computer is that it's capable of doing things. However, it just takes time. Like, it's even taking time to quit Safari. I believe that if you were to put a solid state drive into this machine, an SSD per se, it would perform decently well. It might be enough to browse the internet, get your email, watch something on Apple TV, listen to music, light stuff like that. However, this is not a very capable machine whatsoever. Like, you can upgrade everything, but it starts to become expensive. And then at that point, you can get a Mac Mini, which they just dropped the starting price to $600. That's an amazing deal. And I know that you would have to get a monitor and a keyboard and mouse as well. However, those are really cheap as well now. I was walking home the other day and saw a monitor on the curb. It was a little damaged, but it probably would have worked. So you could get a Mac Mini, the monitor from the curb, a mouse and keyboard from Five Below, and you're up and running with a much better computer than this, and you'd have to pay, I'm gonna estimate between $100 and $200 for a used one of these, and then parts and the labor that it takes is a lot. You're gonna need to probably buy a toolkit realistically, because you would need multiple suction cups to remove the magnetically adhered glass and hope that you don't crack it, which isn't very likely, but there's always a chance. My point is, unless you're really, really holding on to this thing, a computer like this, there is no reason to try and put it on Sequoia. Previous versions of macOS will probably run a lot better and not and still have most of the features. Like, I've been using a 2017 MacBook Pro running macOS Mojave for a little bit now. I've been using it not as a main computer, but just for some other things. And it can do it all. Like, there's nothing that I haven't gotten to run on it that I've tried. And that's a keyword, tried, because I haven't tried Final Cut Pro. I haven't even really tried iMovie on it. But my point with that is that even on older software, it's still decently capable. I feel like the jump from High Sierra to Mojave helps just straight up in terms of browser compatibility. Because High Sierra has much less support than Mojave. But even just the default version of Safari in Mojave ran pretty well and could get everything that I needed to done. And if that didn't work, Chrome did. So older software is still usable, and so is older hardware. But stressing it out to the point of giving it software 13 years newer than it is pushing it. Now, all the time on Reddit and Twitter, I see people putting their old machines on newer software. And I mean, that's completely valid to do if you really, really want to get the most life out of your machine. But I mean, those people have obviously upgraded them. And with a laptop of like an older Mac, probably like a 2008, 2012 MacBook Pro, you could definitely get some mileage out of that with upgrades. But an iMac is always going to be much harder to upgrade and much harder to justify, really. So this is probably something you shouldn't do. I only did this for content and just because I wanted to try it. Like, I had no intention of running this software on this computer as a main computer. It was never my intention. And that's not how you should look at it if this was something you wanted to do. Like, unless you're willing to put in a ton of money, it won't work well. And that's it. Literally it. I can't recommend this, is what I'm trying to get at. If you want a little side project, that's cool. You can do it for that. But yeah, not much else. And I'm worried that I won't even be able to wipe the macOS Sequoia partition from this computer. And that I'm stuck with it. Which, obviously, some people are just doing it for the upgrade, but I was only doing it as an experiment. And the idea that it might be permanent isn't the most fun idea. And for my last test, I just want to try to see if it could play content from Apple TV. And that'll be it. Because I am honestly not looking to put up with more waiting. So I'm going to put on the first couple seconds of a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, enough to prove that the computer may or may not be able to do it, but not enough to get copyright striked or struck or whatever the proper term is. I'm confused. So I'm gonna talk way over this because it's gonna be content matched or whatever the term is, but you can't see it and you can hear it. I can pause it with the keyboard and I can't even unpause it. Oh, so yeah, I don't even know what it's doing right now. I don't know. This just isn't a good experience. And that's all I have to say. I could do as many side-by-side comparisons as I want, but I think just this real-time footage of me stumbling through macOS is enough to tell you that this isn't a good idea. And with that, that concludes my macOS Sequoia installation on a 2011 iMac. I don't know why it's opening music. I don't know why it does anything on this operating system. And I don't know why I'm still recording.